your morning with Samuel Sinachi on your number one business radio, Broadstreet Radio. Yesterday is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Yes, thank God for making us to be alive today. Thank God for making me to be in the studio this morning so that I can reach out to you listening to me via the mobile app and you watching me live right now on Facebook. Today on Commanding Your Morning, we will be looking at the topic, Ask God Questions. I'll repeat the topic again, Ask God Questions. Growing up as a child, I used to hear, you don't ask God questions. You don't ask God questions. But then growing up and then becoming mature in knowledge and wisdom of God's word, I discovered that most of the people who have done exceedingly well in the things of God, most of the people who have walked with God and have done mighty things, and God have done mighty things through them, they were asking questions. And who were they asking these questions? They were asking God questions. Because the reason why you are asking God question is He knows the end from the beginning. He knows the end from the beginning. You do not know the end of the journey. You just know that present time where you are. So the reason why you have to ask God questions is because He knows the end from the beginning. He formed you. He told Jeremiah, he said, I formed you. I knew you before you were formed in the mother's womb. So that is the kind of personality that God is. He knows everything about everything. And so it is not out of place to ask God questions. But then there are two things with this issue. There is questioning God and there is asking God question. Yes, you might want to know what's the difference between questioning God. Now, questioning God in the context I am placing it is questioning His sovereignty, challenging His authority, trying to know why He should do this thing, trying to find out the details why He made this thing happen. That's not the right thing to do. But then asking questions is appropriate. Asking questions is appropriate. I've heard a lot of preachers say that God do not talk too much. He doesn't speak too much, but then He answers questions a lot. And if you check through the Bible, you will see that, yes, God answers questions a lot more than He speaks. Because a lot of people say, I want God to speak to me. Hey, if you want to hear God speak to you, ask God questions. Not questioning His authority or His sovereignty over an issue, but then asking Him questions because you do not know what you are asking for. That is why you need to ask God questions. Let's look at the Bible. 1 Samuel chapter 30 verse 8. The Bible said, then David asked the Lord, should I chase after this band of raiders? Will I catch them? And then what did the Bible say next? In the next line it says, and the Lord told him, yes, go after them. You will surely recover everything that was taken from you. Go after them. You will surely recover everything that was taken from you. Ask God questions. What are the things bothering your mind this morning that you feel that you need to get clarity over it? Ask God questions. Every now and then, Moses was always asking God questions. What if you slaughter these people that you have brought out of Egypt, and then the people will now say, oh, he doesn't know how to handle them again, that's why he killed all of them in the wilderness. What will they say about it? And then God will speak to him. A lot of persons, if you check through the Bible history, you will see that God deals more with questions than with answers. Even Job was asking God questions. Why did you create me? Why all of these things? Why? And then finally God answered Job. Ask God questions. You get why. And that is the why I have told you, because you do not know beyond what you know. But then the person who you are asking the question is the one who knows the end from the beginning. Jesus also asked God questions. Yes. He asked God question on the cross. He said, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. My Father, why hast thou forsaken me? And how did God answer that question? He went to the temple and tore the curtain apart. That was the answer to Jesus' question. Say, the reason why I have done this is because I want to be reached by everyone. Not through just the prophets and not through the priests, but everyone can have access to me. Ask God question. Jesus asked God questions. Elijah also asked God questions. Moses, in fact, he was a questionnaire to God. David was the same. He was a questionnaire to God. What is it that is disturbing you this morning and you feel that you need clarity over them? The simple thing to do is to ask God question. In asking God question, do not question him. Do not question his authority or his sovereignty over an issue. Even if the issue is bothering your mind, a lot of people are asking, they want to challenge God, say, why did you allow my mother to die? Why did you allow my father to die? No. Ask him questions like, Father, this has happened. What is your plan with this? I bet you he will give you express answers. Whatever situation you find yourself, instead of challenging God and say, God, why did you allow this thing to happen to me? Just ask him, what is your plan with this? And I bet you, from experience, I bet you that you will hear him loud and clear speak to you and clarify your mind over that situation. And so this morning, I have just come with these very simple tactics for getting results from the Father when you go to him in prayer. Ask him question. Lord, what would you have me do today? Lord, what will you have me do this morning? Lord, who will you send me to this morning? All of these simple questions will make you hear more from God than when you are waiting for him to speak directly to you. A lot of persons are saying, God is not speaking to me again. God is still speaking, but then you have to ask the question concerning what you want. Because if God continues to speak, if God is speaking to you, like, what are the things you want to hear? Because he knows everything about everything. So if you are approaching him, you are not approaching him that tell me everything. You are approaching him with one particular thing. God, what is this? God, when is this? God, how do I? Not that he should start. If God starts speaking to you, everything he will be telling you, your head will be so big and it will burst. But then if you ask him specific questions, he will give you answers according to your capacity. Brethren, I'm going to end this morning on this note. Ask God question always, and he will speak to you in the language that you will understand with clarity for your understanding at the right time. Ask God questions. Ask God questions, but don't question his authority and sovereignty over issues and over matters. God bless you. See you tomorrow for Commanding Your Morning with Samuel Sinachi on your number one business radio, Broadstreet Radio. Still to come at 8 o'clock a.m. is the news update from your number one business radio, Broadstreet Radio. Have a wonderful day ahead.
In your face, all over the place.